Hey everybody, welcome to Comic Book Club. I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I'm Pete.
And we have three awesome comic books to talk to you guys about today. We're going to talk about Batman and Robin, number 2, Existence 2.0, number 1, and Lock and Key Head Games, number 6. So let's get right into it with Batman and Robin, number 2. What'd you guys think about this issue? We were pretty high on the first issue, I think.
Yeah.
I was high when I read both.
Oh, you probably should have did that. We are narcs.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you?
Pete and
I know you're a narc.
Pete and I are narcs.
Yeah.
Pete's not a narc. He's always like, hey, Justin, get high. Let's get high together.
No, he's trying to entrap you.
Yeah.
I don't think so. No, Pete wouldn't do that to a guy like me. I think that I like the way the synergy between Morrison and Quietly on this comic is amazing. It's like so beautiful, so cinematic.
It's like they're making love to my face.
Well, yeah.
Because I'm looking at it, because I'm looking at it.
I know, it feels that. Like, it starts off gentle and
no,
it gets
but
real hard.
I love the setup of this. The art is fantastic, and like the panels were changing as the fight was going on.
You were high. You were high.
I was really high.
This is a great issue. My favorite thing about this issue, I actually think this is the most emotionally grounded thing I've ever read from Grant Morrison, ever. There's some wonderful characterization that he does with Dick Grayson, also with Damian to a certain extent, but this is really
Alfred's
Dick's
the man.
issue. What?
Alfred's the man. I just love the talk he gave him.
He's just a good butler.
The whole
He's
thing
not-
is
he's
just,
more
you know,
than
it
a
gets
good
into,
No, he
like-
just hangs around. He's like,
He's a father figure.
No, he's a butler.
It gets into
like the classic
it gets into I
traits.
think a little more more Grant Morrison crazy Mr. Pig taking people's faces stuff towards the end, which is still really enjoyable. But 3/4 of the issue is essentially dealing with Dick still trying to get a handle on what does it mean for me to be Batman, and I love the characterization of you are a performer, treat this as a role.
It's really good.
So wonderful.
I also love the way they reference Nightwing. That Nightwing was a cop for a while. It
Yeah.
shows that someone's paying attention over
And,
there.
yeah, and then the fight scenes were so great, and it was so much fun to see the circus people fighting and the big lady with the rocket launcher. I mean, there was some great stuff.
Well, now
Also, I think another thing that's wonderful about this is Quietly is drawing Batman as Dick Grayson, not Batman as Batman. Like every other title, it's looked like Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
What
got
are
his
you
own.
gonna say?
I was gonna say when we reviewed the first one, I was like, okay, for Batman villains, we need to get away from clowns and circus stuff. Let's do something else. But I like that we get to see some Dick Grayson growing up in the circus and see the relationship there.
Yeah.
But really, let's get out into some let's have a bunch of accountants or something be evil. Like I'm sick of
Well, but
painting
this is what
noses,
Morrison's
something
talked about. He's talked about this. He's like, he's broken down what Batman villains are and said, okay, they're either circus freaks or they're animal-based or they're both, and that's what he's doing here.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
but
really
I want something else.
surprised for a number 2, like how much stuff is really in this issue. That just to me says that they got so much more to get to. That already at issue number 2, so much is.
I like this better than the first issue.
Yeah.
And I like the first issue quite a bit. All right, let's move on and talk about Existence 2.0.
Pick it up.
Definitely. I guess that wasn't clear. Existence 2.0, number 1. What'd you guys think about this from Image?
It's from Pete. Pete picked this up. What do you think?
Yeah, I
picked
did
this up
pick-
as well.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, not me.
No, well.
Why didn't
Well,
you?
what
pick
did
it?
you think of it?
Yeah.
I thought that it's a little sloppy. I don't know. So the concept here is that a guy is a secret scientist who's locked in a room, and then someone kills him, and then the technology he's developing allows him to lay his consciousness over his killers and try to take over his body.
It's essentially a riff on reincarnation. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I was really excited for this. I thought it'd be a cool kind of comic. I was just it got a little murky for me because I was kind of under this understanding of like when somebody died around him, he would then jump to that body or his consciousness would. So like when he killed another person, it didn't happen. I was a little disappointed. I thought he was going to keep mind hopping a little bit, but that apparently is not the case.
I agree. I think, there's a little bit of... It starts off fun and then it gets a little annoying to me.
Yeah.
It's in the vein of, guys in comics, guy characters in comics need to be incredible badasses. And just
Real
kick
edgy,
everybody's
this
asses. Yeah, and it is. It seems like it's so faux edgy across the board. I think that's a really good word for it. That it ends up grating against you a little bit.
I did
And
not
when
like
they
the
get to the
character.
emotional hook at the end, he's supposed to be a dick, but it makes him uninteresting, and it makes no emotional hook whatsoever, and it makes me not want to follow him into the second issue.
The coolest part was when they were talking about the other science that they've done, and he's like, I cloned 12 Jessica Albas for some guy in the Middle East, and and
There's a lot of great
some fun ideas in
here,
it.
and it is cool.
It's very
and it is
creative.
fun. It's just, I think it's almost the exact opposite in a certain way of Batman and Robin, where there's no emotional hook for the characters whatsoever.
right, yeah, not at all invested, and the art's kind of mediocre.
Yeah. So pick it up.
Yeah.
Pick it up in your next life.
Oh.
That's for the cover, you guys.
Oh man, I just want to get so high with all these drugs I have in my pocket right now.
Wait, are you in the dark?
I think we should all.
All right, I don't. You write us in and let us know who you think is the dark, and on the next
Who is-
episode, we will reveal
Yeah.
what
Who
the
is
answer to
true
the
or
mystery.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Speaking of mysteries, and talk about Lock and Key Head Games #6. This has been one of our favorite series on the show
Yes.
for a long time.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this issue?
You
Tying
shut
up
up. You don't say
the
a
second
thing.
miniseries
What?
from the amazing, brilliant team of Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. I'm going to say, for the record, this is my favorite comic that came out this week.
Yeah.
It continues to be gorgeous. I feel repetitive about it almost.
I know it
What?
is. You
Continues to be
drone
gorgeous.
on and
Why
on
can't I talk about this comic?
because you're gonna say you didn't like it, and I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I almost
Frankly,
kind of
I
want
don't want to hear it.
because it's a classic comic. Every issue of this has been brilliant.
Yes.
yeah,
And
but you guys don't
what
feel
other comics? Gabriel Rodriguez is so amazing in here, pacing out scares. What other comic do you actually jump back into fear from?
That's true. That's true. But
I
again,
mean, other than Justice League Cry for Justice.
Oh,
but
Cry
I
for
was
Justice.
fear over what quality, yeah.
Justin Lee.
But what do you want to say?
well, I'm just saying.
Oh,
I was
Tony
surprised that like a lot of this is flashback. A lot of this issue,
Yeah, it's great.
is
Great.
simply
I
flashback.
love it. I
And,
agree.
You know, there is so much going on in the world. It's almost. I mean, they do such
Oh, that's
amazing
so
writing, and
good.
there's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much happening
great.
that like you want, you know, like you want to get dealt with. You want answers, and
Yeah,
knowing
yeah.
that this was the last issue, I wanted more.
But there's
that's
more
my
to come.
only. Yeah, that's
Is
my
this-
only bad thing I can say about it. Is it's so great and it's so detailed, and there's so much depth of action and suspense that you really want to get to it. And the fact that a lot of this is flashback is almost infuriating because it's like, oh my God, there's so much happening in this world.
Is this intimidating?
I
Is this
think
intimidating when I do it?
If I understand what you're saying,
If
is
somebody who was scary was doing
Pete
that.
LePage of Comic Book Club says, more. I want more Lock and Key.
Yes.
Yeah.
Key into this series now and lock down your issue.
Wow.
Is that what you said?
Interesting.
You're trying so hard for a pull
Oh
quote.
God, please you guys.
Yeah, you just run one more pull
This
quote.
is the only thing I have going for it.
Yeah. Pull quotes. Pull quotes. You don't get paid for pull quotes. You know that.
What? I'm sure I do.
It was weird that this ended on such an open note. Like
Yeah, sure.
it's what like there's no final move here. It's
think-
all just like tune in the fall when
Yes.
we continue
Tune
to
in
Well, I
next
say.
time.
think, but that's how they're planning it out. It's a little unclear from the way that they have it here, but they have talked about the fact that they have 24 issues planned out that are in groupings of 6. Essentially.
It's interesting though. Why end here? There's no reason this was a series.
This because it follows that particular key. I
Right.
think the arc of that
It's
particular
gonna be all
is
keys,
done.
but you think that keys? They're not gonna bring.
Well,
it
they'll
back.
probably bring it back at
They'll
some point
have to,
towards
yeah.
the end.
That's what I'm saying.
But this brings this
Well.
particular arc, this particular conflict to an end.
This particular key.
Yeah.
Don't you dare. It's great. Pick it up.
Yeah. that's
Man,
good.
I like this beer, but I wish it was more.
Awesome. If you guys have a question for us, you can write us at comicbookclublive@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, Comic Book Live. Follow us on our blog, popcultureshock.com/cbclub.
Follow us home at night to our apartments.
Follow us on iTunes. I don't know if that's the correct word. Check us out on iTunes, Comic Book Club Live. Pete,
New York City, Tuesdays, 8 o'clock, People's Improv Theater, our live show. It's
Your
wonderful.
pitch is getting real weak on that.
Well,
and
you're
that's
so
it.
what kind of drugs do you have?
Oh, any kind you want. All you gotta do is say, "I want those drugs" into that camera.
I want those drugs.
Okay. But put your hand in my pocket. What?
You're coming with
Get
us.
out of your dark.
Are you putting